Thank you.
Being at certain places and I'm just looking.
Remote governance, so you have to put the one there.
Do you want a packet?
Thank you.
Lauren, do you? We got plenty.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you're not staying long enough to care about the packet.
No.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't at all. It's gonna make me a better person.
All right,
Yeah.
we are live streaming. Sorry, that took me a minute.
You know, and is our secretary ready? We can take our time.
Oh, I
Yeah,
had,
you ready?
did I turn on your AI? Do you want the AI? Do you want me to even turn it on? It sounded horrible.
It was 97 pages.
That
long.
is insane. So Zoom has a thing where you can turn on an AI transcription and Jim got
By the way,
90.
everybody, but I think, but me and one other person was identified as Hannah. You were Hannah. It was confusing for about the first 10 pages.
But you had 97 pages to get used to it.
I did. Well,
That's why.
it's like triple.
When I was secretary, I did not. I would use it strictly to clear up confusion.
Yeah, let's have it. Let's have it there.
Search for something and see, if you miss something, it's there. Usually, not always.
I went from 5.5 to 3 hours, for the first one took forever because it was reading the Zoom.
All right, well, it is 5:35 and I'll call this meeting to order. Wonder if I could have a volunteer to read the ALCS mission and vision. I'm wondering if, this could be a qualification exam. Thank you, Lauren.
At Aldo Leopold Charter School, the Human and Natural Environments serve as text and lab for learning through direct experience, inquiry, and stewardship. Aldo Leopold Charter School graduates will use these skills, perspectives, and information they gain at school lives and to advance social, economic, and environmental sustainability.
Thank you very much. And I realize I flipped items 1 and 2 for the record. Go around, Jim McIntosh, you here?
I'm here.
Alex Tager,
Here.
Alex McKenzie. Harry Brown's here. Sebastiana Marina is absent. And non-GC members here include Hannah Wex, Lauren Diorio, Zach Teka, and I don't know your name. Lucy Montenegro. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Agenda review. Anybody have any changes?
Harry, I'm here.
And Wayne and Justine virtually.
Yes, I
Thank
am
you for
here.
the reminder. Any adjustments to the agenda? Take a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as is.
Thank you, Alex M.
Second.
Thank you, Alex T. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Passes unanimously. Next item is a review of the meeting minutes from October 17. I have a few items. Sorry, Jim, but if anybody else does, they can go first. First, I want to thank you for the belly laugh that came in the 4th page. I can no longer remember exactly what you wrote, but it was quite humorous. Doesn't matter. I didn't print that one
It's
out.
the sandwich here. It's the praise. Now it's the punch.
It's an open face sandwich. No, these aren't punches, but Justine is not interim business manager.
Okay.
We do have an end in mind, but she's actually full-on business manager. And Jackie has a different name. Is she
She's
office
an office manager.
manager?
Okay,
And so maybe we could change those titles.
for sure. And I didn't know.
Yeah, right. I realize that. That's why it's not a punch. Lauren's last name is D-I lowercase O-R-I-O. No apostrophe.
Okay.
All of the letters after D can be lowercase.
Okay.
Because the uppercase I looks like an L.
So-
Fonts.
D-I apostrophe? Or
No
D-I?
apostrophe, C-I-O.
Okay. Okay. I had a really favorite English teacher when he was the other just felt like that. Yes.
Jazz it up.
Another item under the financial report. Justine did report that our cash balance was 501,000. It's not our available balance. That term strikes me as ambiguous at best and misleading possibly. So just, if you just say cash balance, I think would be accurate.
I
It's
thought,
not available necessarily.
okay,
You thought what?
I thought I saw it in writing somewhere,
Oh.
but maybe, but that's okay. I'll go with, so cash balance.
Cash balance is what I would call it. Justine, do you have a problem with that?
She was nodding her head.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we care about things like the amount of grants, but the facilities master plan grant, that ended up being 20-something thousand, right?
No, I think it's 12. We
That's
just,
that's just the funding we're gonna get, but I think it's gonna cost a lot more. But I think
Yeah.
we're getting help with like 12 of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the grant itself is 12-something and our part was the 20-something.
yes.
That must be what I'm thinking.
exactly. Yeah.
So maybe we could just take out 35,000 on page 3.
I do not have that.
Okay,
document up there,
I'll
so
just give
make
this
the-
to you.
Yeah,
And finally, the way that the facility rankings work, higher scores are worse.
right, I think,
And you said 26 or lower. So it
Means
should be
it's-
26 or higher.
no.
No, it should be 26 or lower.
Oh, means it's inhabitable.
Yes,
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Very good. I take that one back. That's all I had.
okay. But you're gonna pass that to me.
I will.
So
See you right now.
I move that we accept those changes to the minutes.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Public comment. Nobody online. Business manager report. Thanks for being with us again on a Thursday.
Yes, of course. Let me share my screen. All right, so the reports, we did meet as a finance committee on Tuesday. We kind of went in depth on the reports, so I can give a brief overview of kind of what we went over. As far as the revenue report, we are receiving revenues pretty timely. I think last year PED was taking months on reimbursing those RFRs, so they are coming in timely. I do them once a month around the 16th of the month, so we are getting those RFRs in. Those first round of RFRs did come in October. One of the revenues that we are waiting on is the lease reimbursement. We just got the award letter today, so I will start submitting the lease reimbursement tomorrow. I'm not sure if they're gonna, I think the PSCOC has to open their own purchase order to kind of reimburse the schools. I'm not sure if they're gonna get that done in time, but I will submit that first quarter lease reimbursement starting tomorrow, and then we do those lease reimbursements on a quarterly basis. So that's it as far as revenues, and then expenditures. I think we're doing really well on our expenses. We're a little over a quarter through the school year. Looking at the operational fund, we had about 454,000 available. That's after all salaries and benefits are encumbered, as well as open purchase orders that we currently have. Any other funds that are showing negative on the report, the operational fund will cover those. I usually do my final cleanup towards June when school is done and we can, get to closing all purchase orders. So I'll make sure all of those other funds are showing a zero balance or at least a positive balance.
Where's central up? What is that? Central?
It's in your.
That,
I know.
that's,
Central services.
So that's the function of central services. So that's usually where your business manager is paid from, your copier lease, the financial software.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're
I mean-
welcome.
that have a central office.
Mm.
That must be awesome.
And the reason I think that one is a little over budget is due to, hiring Gus and also probably Jackie is probably not planned for when the budget was first created. So, that's the reason I think that is negative in that. I do plan on doing maintenance or transfer bars for the December meeting to kind of clean up those negative functions as well.
Excellent. Anyone else have questions on this report? Good.
We did go through purchase orders. We went through the bank account register activity report. So if you have any questions on those, please let me know. Again, the bank account register activity report does show your revenues and expenses just for the month of October. So I run this report just for the prior month.
Justine, we're, still figuring out how to do these reports with the finance committee and the governing council. The entire council received these reports, right?
Yeah,
It would be my proposal that you not worry about going over them
okay,
at this meeting, and that instead members who are not on the finance committee, if they're interested, can review them and ask questions here, and otherwise can depend on their finance committee members to report anything interesting. Would
that sounds good to me.
Here? You can, even though you're not, okay. All right, that would save you a little time.
Yes. Well, I will stand for questions if anyone has any questions on the report.
So, I might have misspoken. Justine, I think you used the word available. When you put Jim in this position, like maybe making a mistake, when you report that, are you reporting our actual cash balance or our projected carryover?
No, I'm showing you what's available on your budget to actual. So looking at your operational fund here, your budget is 3.5 million. What's actually been spent out as of October 31st is 803,000. We still have encumbered, which means, any open purchase orders, salaries to be paid out of 2.2 million. So after all of that, we have available money. We have available budget of 454,000.
Okay, which in a sense is the projected cash carryover for next year.
If today was June 30th, sure, that's how you want to look at that. But we're gonna probably open a lot more purchase orders. Close some.
So Jim, I apologize. And we should change that correction also. I thought she was reporting cash balance, but she's not. So I think you can call it.
It is.
I would say available budget. You could say available budget.
That's a good way to say it. Available budget balance. Thank you. Because it's not actual cash. It's just paper. Okay. Thank you, Justine. Sorry for the confusion.
Yeah, no worries.
Any other questions on these reports? Are you gonna talk about the bars?
Yes, I can pull up those bars.
And Justine, will you just tell them that we certified our 40th day. We're actually one of the first in the state. We got it done. We're all correct. I worked really hard. We had tons of discrepancies that I cleaned up over the last few weeks. So we're all good.
So what
are we at?
Yeah,
201.
wow,
Yeah.
that's good.
And
That is good.
that is good. And that was the 40th day. We
Yeah.
lost one
Ninth
day.
quarter.
Oh,
But I had projected 191. So we will get, growth units.
What was last year's 40th day?
180 or something.
Yeah.
Not 120th, but 40th.
40th day, I'd have to go.
It was in the
I don't
80s.
remember,
It was
Barry.
the 180.
Because that's part of the formula is last year's. to this
Subtract,
year.
yes.
So I don't remember. I'll find out for you next
So
week.
Hannah, we're looking at roughly like 9 or 10 kids with attrition from day 0 to day 40, and we only lost
Yes,
maybe
yeah.
10. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty great.
Yeah, that's really.
It's
important.
really good. Historic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, they were, I'm looking at the 910B5 that was signed in May. And the last year 40 day was 196 and we projected 196 for this year.
Oh, okay. So we're not
So
hugely over.
2%. we'll get growth for
Yes, we'll
one
get growth.
half students.
1.5, so it won't be as much as last year, but we'll get something. Thank you, Justine, for looking that
Yes,
up.
you're welcome.
You don't get growth for the first 1.5% of growth, something like that.
Is that right? Okay.
So that'll be 3
I
students
have
at
them.
200. All right, thanks, Justine. You go ahead.
Okay, so we have 2 bars this evening. Bar number 12, IB. This is an initial budget bar for the Public School Capital Outlay Fund. This grant is to help pay for the facilities master plan in the amount of $12,965.54. And the second bar, let me pull that one. Is bar number 13I. This is for Title I for carryover from the prior year. I'm sorry, not Title I.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I just pulled the wrong PDF. I apologize. I have 2 screens here. Yes, Title I from the prior year in the amount of $258. And we're budgeting this in a teacher salary expense.
pizza party.
It's $1.
I think we can have a parent night with a pizza party in Title I.
That's true. As long as we share some sort of information.
Exactly. Any questions on the bars for Justine? Hearing none. You're good to
Would you like to
move.
read
I don't know if you have anything else for us at all.
I don't.
Anybody have anything for Justine? We can let her go.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Justine.
All
Thanks very
right,
much.
you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Student council report. There's nothing negative.
I have a few things to cover. I wanted to
Lucy, you should
Oh.
introduce yourself.
Okay.
Lucy is our student council president.
Oh,
So we have, thank you. So we have had a few events and one that I had kind of planned since before student council, which went really well, was senior sunrise. We had a very good turnout. Most of our whole class went. We had like a little mishap just without food, but other than that, it went really well.
And when Lucy called me at like 5:30 in the morning, like no one's here. And so I came over in my pajamas and opened the school for them.
But yeah, it was really cool. So our whole class hiked up to Little Tree Rock there on the western campus and we watched the sunrise. And then we came back and had some arts and craft activities, which was really well. Everyone participated. And recently, for Halloween, we had a spirit week the whole week before, and it went really well as well. There's tons of participation throughout.
So much, more than
So
I've
much.
ever seen. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was the most interactive that I've kind of seen our school. Everyone was really motivated for it, and yeah, it went really well. And then, so something that we do, student council is trying to plan a dance, like a winter dance here in January. And I think we're doing pretty good on our planning. We have a few choices of venues and plenty of funding. So I think we'll do pretty good on that. And our venues are either the Murray Hotel or Diana's. So like one downtown.
Will that be for the whole school or just the high school?
It'll be, we haven't actually had a whole school dance before, but I don't think that would be a bad idea. But right now we're planning just for the high school. And also I know our student council, something that I had brought up was we're gonna work harder on our attendance for our councils, making sure everyone's there and taking responsibility for that. I do have a student report from Iris about this last week of our trip. I just saw
You
her.
just got on off Sonora and Sojourn. Awesome. Great, Lucy. Haven't heard about it yet.
So she was saying that it was a really fun experience and that the dairy farm was really great because they were able to see how like the operation of a milk farm like went, I guess, and they were like really interested in that. She said that Koji's Stronghold was really good and that they liked that place as well. She really mentioned that she loved, and that most of them loved the Catalina State Park. They said that there was tons of learning opportunities. It was really cool, but other than that, it was really awesome. And a key part for them was going downtown into the community, and that they really enjoyed going out there.
So do I.
Yeah, so happy.
And then the only student concerns that I had heard was just about, I guess, the new restoration day planning. But for myself, I think it'll be a really good outcome. I think we're gonna be able to be very productive with the way that we have it planned. But that was really it. So
What was the concern?
I think they were just concerned on, I'm not too sure. They just said that they weren't sure how well it was going to work out with the 2 days. And I think that could be controversial for some of the people doing projects as well. Maybe they're just a little stressed out at the time, things like that.
So we've changed it where it's 2 days in a row this month and then 2 days in a row in January or February.
Okay.
Instead of spacing it out one a month, just to
Okay.
get more done and to have better participation. And it is different, but I think it's gonna work out well.
I also,
It's 2 full days each of those times?
2 full days.
Wow.
and that's it.
Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah,
Any
cool.
questions? I'm not really.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Move on to staff report. Mr. Decker.
Yeah,
So you can go, Lucy, once you're done with.
Or
that
you can
report.
stay.
You're free.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can
gonna
stay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming.
So to kind of segue off Lucy's final remark there about the restoration sites, one of the updates that we have to that is not only the schedule shift, but we're working, 2 of the sites are working in conjunction with Southwest New Mexico.
Zach, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Oh.
but since Lauren's new, do you want to explain what restoration projects are a little bit?
Absolutely. So part of our mission and vision is to cultivate stewardship of the environment. And so part of that is we do a lot of studying with students about the 30 by 30 initiative to restore 30, 30% of
Lands.
of land within the next 30 years to help out with the environmental, issues. And so we go out, the whole high school goes out 4 times a year into different areas, and we do a lot of different stuff. We plant trees. Currently we're building a playground and planting trees and reclaiming some sites like the waterworks site for like through hikers and CDC trail and stuff. That was a lot of the work done was helped with Aldo helped out with it. And so typically we have 3 sites. One San Vicente Farms, one this year is Hurley, and then the other one, I don't know if we have the spring site yet, but from what I understand, Santa Clara is the other site. And so right now we're working, Pete and my restoration site, the Hurley and the Santa Clara sites are working with Southwest New Mexico Community Forestry Network. And I think the goal is to help them plant out their goal is 1,000 trees.
1,000 trees that
Yeah.
forestry, yeah.
And I know Hurley's helping out with 14 of those. I don't know how much Santa Clara's site is. But yeah, so the restoration sites are a big deal to us. And the students can opt into those, or they can opt into doing passion projects based off of an application process that shows that their vested interests are not only academically aligned, but also worthwhile for them. I don't want to make it sound underplayed. It's very much like a.
We've just been choosing who gets to do their passion projects because the whole high school is out. So all of the teachers are out. So me, Allie, and Orion are the only people who can kind of supervise the kids who are doing passion projects. So it's based on, in academic independence, true passion about their topic, their application, how well they explain its connection to the school or the mission and vision or restoration, but they have to have some type of connection there. And so vetting those project proposals takes time, but we have some great passion projects. There's
Yeah, we just got, I don't know if the list is finalized.
It's
yet,
not
but-
quite final.
yeah,
And we
but-
can't talk about it because
Yeah.
we're live streaming.
Oh, okay,
Kids
yeah,
don't know.
Yeah,
Like they're
there's-
all
Oh.
watching because they're all watching. Right.
Yeah.
They would get extra credit for watching.
Yeah,
Then they,
but yeah, so that's the restoration sites, and that starts next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. Traditionally in the past, we didn't, oh, excuse me. I apologize.
Everyone's.
Yeah, well, I'm over it, don't worry.
Alex.
Yeah, yeah, in the past, we've done one day at each month, but this year we're trying to focus on getting more of it. Not necessarily done, we wanted to be more productive because a lot of the feedback we got last year was there's just not enough time out there. And so what we're hoping this year is by putting 2 days together and then 2 days in the spring or I guess.
Yeah.
The
Late winter, yeah.
they feel like they're getting more done at once, so. We'll see, I think it's gonna be really beneficial regardless of the outcome, but
Yeah.
because they usually learn a lot. And at the end of the year, we do a big, we streamed it last year, I believe, right?
We did.
We do a presentation day where the students get to show off what they did, not only the restoration, but passion projects, and so. It's a big day, and it's really fun for them, so.
So 4 days total?
4 days
2
total.
days in.
Yeah.
home. Okay.
And then 2 days, one day for the presentations, one day of preparation, and then one day of presentations over in the global resource center.
Mhm.
And the waterworks has been retired?
Yeah.
Our work here is done?
Yes, they finished it.
Yeah, they just don't need us anymore.
Yeah, it was a pretty grand thing to see, actually. It's a lot of,
gorgeous.
yeah, a lot of them were kind of bittersweet heartbreak at the end of it. They're like, I can't believe this is over, because some of them started working on it when they were freshmen and did it the entire time they were there and got to see the growth each year. So it was kind of interesting.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, the Hurley trees, the 14, are they all going in that park? Or they,
I believe 7 of them are going in that park, and then there's some other stuff. The goal with this, I think, is as it progresses, is to kind of find new other green spaces that we can kind of contribute to in the future.
Yep.
I think they're kind of waiting to see, the proof in the pudding here. And so we're hoping that they see that, because last year we planted a ton of oak and they started doing well. They were they became seedlings, they were starting to grow. And then the town had a weed whacker come through and kind of wiped them out. And so
this happens so often.
yeah, and so we're like, well, let's plant some yearlings then so that we can really see, what's out there. And so that's the hope.
Or maybe put big cones over them or something. right?
Yeah. That's what we tried a few different things, but it's the way it goes, The eventual goal with the Hurley site was trying to mimic something like out of Dunbar Springs at some point, with trying to do some curb cutting for the park to collect water, things like that.
Cool.
And the kids are really passionate, and they had a meeting last semester with the city, and the city is considering. So that's what we've gotten so far. We'll see. Yeah. As for other general updates, well, Sonoran Sojourn's return, and I guess we got the update out of that from the student perspective, which is great. Drama is ramping up production of doing a 1-act rendition of the Yellow Wallpaper. And they're pretty excited about that. We'll be taking to ENMU, and it should be.
Alex made the face like, ooh, dark.
Yeah, they always choose.
I made the
dark
face like,
stuff.
I have no clue what yellow wallpaper is.
Yeah, well, and this specific one is adapted by someone who's a really big fan of, I think, House on Haunted Hill or something like that. So it's got kind of a horror take on it. It's definitely going to be interesting.
So going to Eastern, that's the state championship theater festival?
Yeah, it's a state theater festival. It's less competition, more of an opportunity for students to meet a lot of different people from throughout the state, not only on the production side of things, but also to get scholarship opportunities to places like ENMU. And I think San Juan has a presence there. I haven't gotten confirmation from their theater director up there. But the year before last, Fort Lewis had a presence there and things like that. So usually they bring a lot of people in for it. Last year we had 3 seniors win scholarships out
That's
of it.
amazing.
4, but one of them didn't accept it. So yeah. So we're trying to get them. Prom committee had a huge fundraiser.
Huge.
2 weeks ago now. And they actually raised a fair amount of money, $800 towards prom. They did a haunted house here at the school, and it was mostly open to families in the community.
It's
And
like 100 kids came.
Really?
There were lots of people who weren't Aldo families.
yeah, there was like a line out the door at one point.
It's crazy.
A drama did all the scare acting in it, and they had a blast. There's videos and pictures of it that we intend to send.
You
Hannah
should
West.
share them. I
Yeah.
haven't seen them yet. ASAC's
Yeah.
so much fun. Did Lila have fun? She did. Yeah, she had fun too.
Yeah, it was, they had a blast. And I was very grateful. It stayed safe and the community loved it. And all I've heard from feedback in the community is positive things. So that was great. And then starting tomorrow is the red paint powwow, and we'll actually have not only students going there.
The middle schools.
Yeah, the middle school is going, but we'll also have students helping out with volunteering at the function, like that. So, yeah. Should be a fun weekend.
And the whole middle school came to the show this today.
Oh.
Without the show, the performance of them.
They loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
That's what I heard. Anyway, I'd wanted to come over and then.
I think that's it for the general
Thank
update.
you.
That was great.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a lot
Yeah,
going on.
Good things to hear.
Yeah, really good. Okay. Yeah, we're on strategic plan, goal manager report.
All right, so there is no goal manager reporting for November.
Woo-hoo. But now we're on director's
Okay,
report.
that I need to pull up. All this set up ahead of time, like my live stream, but whatever, it'll take a second. Mm. That's- All right. So like you heard, there's been a lot going on, and my main focus lately, of course, has been the renewal, and the hearing is a month away. So we did receive our letters, our final report from Charter School Division, that's what CSD is. And I shared both of those letters with you all, the CSD report and the PEC letter. The PEC letter just addressed deficiencies, areas of concern that we need to be ready to speak to. And of course, instead of being ready to, I will include them in our presentation and just address each one. There are three. There are finances, there is governing board, and Harry and I need to meet soon to talk about how you want to address that and what we need to address there. And then we were untimely. We are on a corrective action plan for our special ed department for not turning in some paperwork last year on time. And so what our corrective action plan is and how we've addressed that. Those were the three areas, and I'm working on those. The Charter School Division letter pointed out that the letter could change and their recommendation could change based on the new VISTAS scores. So had our scores tanked, they could have said something else. We remain a spotlight school, and our proficiencies, if you looked from year to year, went up, which was awesome. I mean, just really good growth there in reading and science.
There's not even much room for improvement in science.
No, I know, it's crazy. It's
Looks like
really
me.
good. And if you look, I know we're live streaming. If you look at some of the surrounding areas, how much higher we are in science is sort of stunning.
It is stunning.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And it's, I'm sure, because of all our field work, but it's great. And so I was happy to get those New Mexico Vistas designations. And there's other elements of it that are still coming. So you can always look at that. If you looked year to year, you would notice that our actual score went down. It went from an 81 to a 71, but it did not go down because they used an entirely different metric this year than they did last. And once I pointed that out to them, they now have a little like disclaimer above. It says, don't compare cumulative scores year to year because business rules changed. Yeah, So Wayne knows all about this.
And is it possible to work backwards and figure out what it would have been under the previous?
I think it would be. I have the formulas somewhere for each year. If that's something that
No,
interests you, I'd be
I was wondering if
happy
you'd
to
already
grab
done it.
But they said don't compare them.
Yeah.
So why are you trying?
Because the reason you don't just compare the numbers.
You know what you want to do, but they're telling you don't compare them.
Yeah, but that's not what,
Okay.
we
so
can take it up later.
moving on.
Alex. That's not what they
I'm
mean.
going to move. The Public Education Commission, recently made available the assistance, so that for whatever your deficiencies are, they're saying, hey, you want to apply, we can give you some money to address those deficiencies. And Wayne can also help me talk about this. Yeah, so I applied. I don't know yet if I got it. Do you want to talk about that program real quick, Wayne?
Yes, because I was just here at the PEC meeting in Santa Fe, and there's 2% money that goes from our budget to PEC and the charter school division. And over the last few years, there has been a reserve, an extra amount of money, and they can't keep any extra money. So last year they had to send back $1 million or $900,000, went back to the general fund of not just the public education department, but the general fund of the state of New Mexico. So this year they were like, okay, we're going to use that money where it should be. Well, today, just found out today that they don't have any extra money. And they are not going to be able to do this program at this time, but they will let you know when they do come up, because they want to spend all of the 2% money that they have. But the PED is now saying, oh, well, we just misjudged how much money you would actually have in your budget. And it's like $500,000 less.
Oh my
And so,
goodness.
yeah.
Thanks, Wayne, for the update. So I applied for some money that I won't get, but you all know that we did get the PSFA assistance program. I have found a person I want to help us with the facilities plan. We have requested bids from many other companies, and no one else has written us back. And the people I want to work with have given us a quote. So I guess we need to put that on the agenda for December. So maybe you guys can approve that. Okay, sounds good. If you want to make a note. With facilities update, Alex, McKenzie.
Hang on just a sec. How large is that contract going to be?
30,000.
Do you want to, you don't need us to approve it if it's
Yeah.
under 60.
It's under 60. You don't have to.
If
So
it's a
can I
professional
just put it?
services
It is
agreement,
professional
right?
services. Would you all like to, I can grab you the proposal. Would you like to see it?
I'd like to see, because I don't really know.
Do you want to
Yeah, due diligence.
get paper proposals or do you want to send it out?
I can send it out.
Send it out. I just
Yeah.
like to.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Totally, no, that's
So
great.
we are required by the state to develop a facilities plan every 5
Five,
years. And they force us to pay for it. So yeah. But they're giving us a grant of 12,000 towards the 30,000 that it will cost. The company, what's that?
Listen.
Yeah, exactly. And the company that I want to go with, they're just so competent. And when I started telling, his name is Paul Aguilar, and he has worked for PED. What was he? He was deputy.
He was Deputy Secretary of Finance for Hannah Scandera.
Yeah,
He's
for Hannah
great.
Scandera.
That's
And
great.
his brother worked for PSCOC and PSFA.
That I
Yes.
didn't, that was you.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So his brother worked for the Public School Facility Authority for years. So their combined knowledge is amazing. I started telling him about how we have to leave our building. I said, which I'm about to tell you about, there's a new loan program. And he's like, oh, I know all about it. I helped develop it with Matt Paul. Let me write your facilities plan. We don't, because I said, I thought it had to be just some dumb compliance thing, not really planning for what's our next facility? How do we get there? How do we finance this? What are the real steps here? And he's so knowledgeable. And he said, not only can I develop that, I can meet with stakeholders and explain things to them. I can meet with Will Hawkins, whatever you need from me. So I will send you his proposal, and I'm thrilled that he reached out to me because no one will even give us a quote.
And when do we have to, how long do the other entities have?
Harry looked into this with us.
The other,
The other
there
possible.
isn't a specific deadline according to PSFA.
Okay,
I think it would be prudent to wait 30 days
from,
from when we sent out
yeah, I
the
get
request.
Yeah.
roughly when was
So
that?
it was mid this month, like, a week or two ago.
Oh,
Oh,
early
so
this month.
started this month.
Yeah, okay.
So, but by mid-December, certainly.
I'm asking for selfish reasons because the facilities committee meets on the 5th, and if we have some of that information, that would be.
No, we
probably-
won't have any.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
true. We may just be talking a lot about something that will be decided by another person.
Right, that's true.
happened.
When you say decided by another person, you mean the
Well-
contractor that we're talking about?
Yes,
Because
right.
I think certainly Paul's ideology and past winners of this bid have all worked with the school.
Yeah.
It's not like they're gonna make decisions.
No, and I bet he
They
would
will
be
be
happy to
involving the
join the
facilities
facilities
committee.
committee to
Okay.
help us out
Yeah.
and to talk.
Yeah.
And to explain, I mean, my understanding is that PSFA is very heavily bureaucratic, and understanding the intricacies of their bureaucracy is such, it's complex, and he's somebody who really gets it, as well as his brother. So to help guide us through understanding all of that, I think it'll be really valuable.
Yeah, that's great news.
Okay, I will send you all the quote. So moving into facilities updates, Alex McKenzie, did you get the?
Yeah, I
emails?
already said I would be there next.
It's next
morning,
week.
Next
So
Thursday.
Silver Schools is having their first facility there. It's consolidation, the meetings to talk about closing some of the schools, and Alex is gonna be there. I might go to some if I can, but I'm gonna know that you're there if I can't be there.
I'll be there.
And next week I also have an Ed Leaders Luncheon. So I'll see Mr. Hawkins on next Thursday too. Yeah, so
Alex, are
the,
you going as an observer, or do you have a role in
Well,
the
they
meeting?
requested that she goes, but as busy as she is, I volunteered since
Yes.
I have some building experience, plus just to be there to say, yeah, we do want the building.
Okay,
and have a
that-
voice
that's-
there.
so he's going
Okay,
in my
Yeah.
place.
So I was invited also,
Good.
very surprising, as a commissioner.
Ah, I
Chris
saw
Ponce,
that,
Chris Ponce and I were invited. I don't know why.
yeah,
And I wrote Will and said, I think I'm conflicted
right.
because I have every interest in passing Jose Barrios to Aldo. You still want me? He never responded except with confirmation that I was invited.
He's good.
If I'm available, I will go.
Okay.
I actually think I probably won't be next
Okay.
Thursday morning, so I'm glad
If
you're.
there's any, any
Yeah.
conflict.
I think I will be for this one, and because that Thursday is open and it's the first meeting, I just thought it would be a good time to be present. And then we can sit together and everybody will know, like, yeah, Alex is here for Aldo kind of thing. Okay. There is this new loan program that I was just mentioning, that Wayne and Matt Hall, well, it was Matt who explained it to Wayne, and Wayne told me. And it is really amazing. It fits our needs pretty spectacularly. So it is through the Finance Authority, and it is a charter school loan program. And they are looking to give very low interest, long-term loans to charters that need to fix up buildings, primarily that were a school district building. And they also want a charter with a history of success, who has a need for the building. Anything else you want to add to that, Wayne? Do you think I've kind of covered
fits us
it?
pretty well.
Yeah,
Hannah, that's exactly right. One other thing though is this Silver Schools could donate the building to, or sign it over directly to Aldo Leopold Charter School, or they could give it to the foundation, one or the other.
That's where it comes in.
The point of giving it to the foundation is now it is no longer a public building, it is,
And then we're not.
yeah, yep.
And then
we don't have
Under
to
public
all-
school.
We don't
Okay,
have to meet all those rules that we would do if we were Aldo Leopold Charter School. So it would save us maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, plus maybe 6 months to a year of red tape to get into that facility.
Would we lose any advantages though with, I mean, longer term, things that we don't know about, like, okay, are we gonna have access to funding in the future? Are there things that, it sounds good to save immediately a few $100,000, but longer term, do we put ourselves,
I think that's a great question.
I just don't know enough.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
This isn't our building, it's paid.
No, but
for.
it is a
It's paid.
public building,
That's-
and that makes all the difference for SB 9 and HB 33.
That's
That's a
correct.
great.
So, so I'm hopeful this will be discussed by facilities committee,
And with Paul,
because
I think that there's a lot, that's such a good question, Jim. I appreciate it.
the lease reimbursement assistance does kick in if it's owned by the foundation and the school is leasing it from the foundation. But
That is
SB 9 and HB 33 can only be used in limited ways, very limited
Very
ways, if it's not a public school building.
Interesting.
So that's going to be a very difficult trade-off, I think, to figure out.
That's the kind of thing a facilities plan could look at though, too. Can I
So-
say, create a projection of the long term? Is it worth it long term for
Yep.
this immediate payout?
And part of that is the uncertainty of both sources of funding. So lease reimbursement assistance currently is amazing.
Yeah.
5 years ago, it sucked.
Right.
So that's uncertain. SB 9, we're going to lose because it got voted down by the voters. And so that's uncertain. It
Interesting.
might come back. Silver has said they're going to propose it again.
Huh.
Whether the voters will approve it, we don't know.
We don't know.
So both sources are uncertain. So the long term is the important thing to look at, but it's also involved,
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do some kind of
Basically, long-term uncertainty.
weighted,
Any way
yeah,
you cut it.
do an expected value sort of analysis.
Yeah, thank you. I will send everyone the link to this loan as well. The information on the loan through the Department of Finance.
And I will try to find that answer out for you tomorrow, because there is a commissioner on the PSFA. So I will ask him that question.
Awesome.
See if he can give me that answer. If he can't, maybe he can find that answer out.
All right. And Lauren, I am going to make you, just so you know, it's not official, but I'm going to make you an email and add you to the governing council group so that you're getting these things and all contact
At the end of this meeting.
at the end of this meeting in the future. Okay, so those are the updates on facilities, but I'll take questions on facilities before I move on. Okay, we all know about the Sonoran Sojourn because everybody just got back. It's a great trip. Unfortunately, one of the leaders had COVID, so we'll see how everyone does next week. Next week, I already mentioned that I have the Ed Leaders Luncheon. And like I said, what I've been working on is preparation for the renewal hearing. And I have been meeting with people, creating a framework, brainstorming, watching a whole bunch of PEC hearings on their YouTube channel, which, yeah, it's something, but I know what not to do. I called some commissioners to ask them what they want to know and what they want to see. And so I am working really hard on it. I'm looking forward to it. And I know we're going to talk a little bit more about planning in the agenda. So I'll leave my directors.
So these are Grant County educational leaders, or is this?
Yes, this
okay.
is Grant County. So thanks, Jim. Sorry. And Lauren knows because she's gone to these. Do you have to go? Okay.
Good luck.
Bye.
Thank
You
you.
Okay.
Oh, is it your event tonight?
Yeah, I can, well, you have a quorum, so you don't need to.
We do still have a quorum.
Did you did you receive my director's eval? Did that go to you? Are you the author of that, or am I? Okay.
Didn't go to me.
Last evening? Okay, go.
Yeah. We have to figure that out.
All right. Any questions for me on any of this or anything else? Okay.
All right, thanks, Hannah.
Sure.
Based on your comments before we started the meeting about how hectic it's been, I was expecting more bad news. That was all pretty good. You keep it all inside. Okay, well, we're here for you if you need to vent. Okay, committee reports. I think you all have noticed by now, I'm not going through all of the committees. I contacted several to find out if they had anything that didn't seem like there were. Reports that those committees wanted to give us. The policy committee actually has something before us, but they didn't have a report per se. We met today.
I know. I just thought of something. So with the renewal, this is something that Maya and I have been working on, and I hope you all grabbed one. If you didn't, you can hand it around. It's not done yet, but I think it's really great. It's just sort of a graphic representation. So the soap tree yucca there, you can see one side is the middle school, one side's the high school. If it's in the middle, it's for everyone. And then the rope around our logo is because we're going to start by giving all the commissioners little bracelets, you know, the ones that Orion and the kids weave with agave fiber, and use that as a symbol and a metaphor for everything that we do at the school and all the pieces and how they come together. Sorry, I forgot to say that.
Is that? We got the explanation?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's kind of, yes.
any questions on that? Is it essentially part of the director's report?
It was.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I forgot it.
No worries.
You're allowed to give, this is gonna be given,
This is a draft of a piece of the presentation, trying to, because there's so much that we do, and how it all comes together and how it supports each other. So we're using the yucca bracelets as a metaphor throughout the presentation and giving them something to hold in their hands that represents that.
they won't see it as a bribe.
Have you seen the yucca bracelets? I think it'll.
I haven't.
All right, thanks, Hannah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Let's see, the finance committee met earlier this week. Alex, to relieve my throat, do you want to?
Basically, we're gonna start meeting every week before this meeting.
Every month?
I mean, yeah, every month before every GC meeting so that we can go over the reports instead of having to go through them here. And it'll just be the two of us with the business manager and Anna too, I believe.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
generally
she
I'll come.
wants.
If
So-
I'm available, I'll be there. And I generally talk to Justine when she sends the reports if I have questions, but
So we'll be asking all the questions there. And we'll just report, we'll just give the basic. The main points when we get here, and you'll have the report so you can ask questions of us. And the business manager will probably be here anyway during the meeting, so. But anyway, just to reduce the reports that we have to go through at the GC meeting. And we're also complying with PED or somebody.
yeah. The
Or
Request that
statutory.
we go every month and have the
Oh.
finance meeting.
And this is a way to show that we're improving.
Yeah,
our
one of-
financial
yes,
controls.
yes, so.
I mean, that's not its only purpose, it's to improve it, but it will have that
It-
effect.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, it should improve a lot of things. That's it.
So at this meeting, we didn't really have any significant questions about Justine's reports.
It was mostly organizing what I just told you.
Yeah.
Figuring all that
Yeah.
out. Why and how often. And who.
And we also discussed the idea of a larger finance committee that includes staff, parents,
For a quarterly.
maybe a student, for a quarterly meeting and for meetings involving budget process, right? Preparing the budget for the following year, because that is something that should include more stakeholders than just the governing council.
Absolutely.
So we were talking about them kind of as a full finance committee and then a finance subgroup,
We're the subgroup,
and we're
right?
the subgroup.
We're the subgroup, and then the main one will meet once a quarter.
Or
For the
during-
important stuff. Yeah.
During budgeting might be more than that.
Okay.
Any questions on that for us? Alex and I are the two reps.
Thanks for doing that.
The audit committee met by phone with Clifton Larson Allen, our auditors, for an exit interview. I have to be careful because the county's going through the
secret.
same thing. County had a lot more findings. I think we had 7, right?
Yes, I think we narrowed, there was one that wasn't, Jackie.
Now
fixed one.
to 6.
Yes,
There were 6 findings. Unfortunately, some of them are repeat findings. Because we had functions over budget at the end of the fiscal year. And I think there were some procurement issues, if I remember, was a repeat.
yes. But we now have a chief procurement officer. We
Yeah,
did
she
not-
passed.
She
She's
did.
gotten hers.
She's done, she got it. So Jackie is a CPO and that is super helpful. And we didn't have one at all for the last, since Melissa retired.
That's a
So
good way
it-
to explain it. Say, we didn't have one,
didn't
now we
have one,
do, so
now
we're
we do.
fixing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
it makes a big difference.
progress.
And Jackie is really knowledgeable. She had done it in the past, but she redid it.
Otherwise, it was straightforward. I think the
Yeah.
exit conference.
I got their final letter today. Can I share that with you? Because they just sent it to me and Justine.
Yeah, the final letter
Just
isn't the same as the draft
no. it's
audit,
not.
so I
Right.
think you can share that.
Okay.
The process is the audit gets sent to the state. And then the state, Office of the State Auditor will combine all of the charter school audits into one massive multi-volume document. And will issue that sometime midwinter, hopefully. And 5 days after that's issued, we can talk about it publicly.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I will say risk management, has been really busy and Pete has been really busy. There are so many things that have come up and I just want to talk about it because there's so much work that we've been doing. Our fire alarm was broken for a long time. It's finally fixed. Obviously, the elevator is fixed. Pete has run all required drills this year. We just did an evacuation drill. He went to Silver Schools for their tabletop active shooter activity. We just got movement on the door between us and Western today. He's been working with a lot of law enforcement entities. We have so you can ask our insurance company, who's Palms, to do a risk assessment. And they basically just try to sneak into your building and see if they can get in and then what happens, and then they come tell you about it. And so that will be happening at an undisclosed time soon, and I will be able to share that risk assessment with you. And one of the other really big issues,
I'm worried for that person. What if campus security catches them?
For some kid.
it's funny, I'll tell Pete to make sure Eddie.
Yeah,
knows
right?
about it.
Someone should let them know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's more just how secure is your building? Do people ask you who you are in the hall if you don't have a badge? You know, all of those things to see how safe we are. And I think it's a really good idea. And, you know, it's one of those things Palms just does because we already pay them.
We don't do badges, do we?
We do now.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We did for a time at the Elwell building.
We do now.
We
Nobody
do now
runs it
again.
without.
Okay,
So lots
I do.
of, well, you do. You better
I should start getting a badge.
yeah, I don't know. We should I think everybody should, yes. And we've re-implemented it. And another issue that is really hard is communication between classrooms and the office, which we have none. Right? You know, people use cell phones. And so I had gotten a bid from WNM to get landlines put into all the classrooms, and it was exorbitant. It was crazy. It was like $1,000 a month after installation. But Jackie found someone else, and they are coming down to look at everything. They haven't given us a quote yet, but they said it's nowhere near that. They're like maybe $10 a month per line. They run everything. I don't know. It's all very high tech. It sounds great. We'll see what their quote says. I'll tell you more about it, but I think it'll be really positive for safety for one, the office to be able to call to a room, and vice versa. If there's a student concern, I've had real situations where people are like, oh, I texted you Cause, and I didn't hear it, you know, but if they could just call me and say, you need to get down here right now, all of those kinds of things. So we're looking into it, and I think it would be good if we could do it.
The phone lines be for just internal or could they phone out?
Yes, they would be phone outable, so people could dial 911 as well. It wouldn't just be internal.
So
Yes.
given that we're gonna be out of this building in 2 years, this seems like an expense that at the very least should be shared and probably covered by the university. That's my thinking without knowing all the facts, but
Yeah.
are they willing to subsidize that to some degree?
I am sure not. I haven't asked.
They're gonna turn it into dorms anyways.
They're gonna like.
It's
gut
all
it.
gonna be, yeah.
Radios.
Look at that expression on William's face.
No, it won't. Radios. So, and Wayne can tell you, we've tried walkies in the past. People don't charge them. They lose them. They can't get on the right channel. They fumble with them, you know, and maybe that's a training failure. I don't know. I feel like this is the best solution for right now. We'll see. And Justine is trying to use, we have a massive amount of capital outlay money that I haven't spent on this building because we're leaving. And she has requested to see if capital outlay could cover that, and we'll see what
What about
happens. We could also use SB9, and we have SB9.
What about an intercom system?
Because the infrastructure here, so we don't have an intercom system. There is a system where you can like broadcast from the office, but you can't call from the rooms. And to update that or put that in, again, exorbitant. Just putting in like an Ethernet drop because of the walls, because there's no infrastructure, is about $30,000 per room. Yeah, so it's crazy, but they feel like they can do this wirelessly. They're coming to work with Bart. They're gonna.
That was one of my questions. They're doing it wirelessly.
That's the thought.
So that to me says it's portable. We could take it
Right,
with
yes,
us when we
could take-
leave.
Yes.
I think that addresses the concern you and I both had.
There we go.
But aren't you gonna run into, I didn't record, I didn't charge it, I can't find
Not,
it?
not if it's plugged in.
Not if it's plugged
It can be
in.
plugged in and wireless. Those
Yes.
are two different things.
Yeah, so it's gonna,
Oh, geez, I have the old base.
right.
Yeah.
It-
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
And we'll see. I've only gone to one meeting with them. Jackie set it up. They seemed really knowledgeable. I tried to explain to them a lot of the issues that I've encountered in the building. And they're like, we'll come down, we'll look at it, we'll let you know. So we'll see where it goes.
so is there an upfront cost as well as the $10 per month per
Yeah, there
unit?
would be an installation.
And
cost.
do you have a sense of it?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That was risk management. committee.
That was risk management.
And the safe school plan is all but finished, I think, as I was.
It's
talking to Jess.
getting really close. Jim, Pete, the draft is, okay, the plan is due December 1st, but we're good with the draft. And he will have a very good draft for December
Okay.
1st. And then they can send us feedback and we can rework it. There is a wellness plan. It's like 120 pages-ish.
Wait, wellness plan?
The safe school plan.
Yeah,
Safe
yeah.
school
Wellness
plan.
is
Thank
like.
you. Yeah. I am
Just have to
tired.
write that.
It's-
It's okay.
So the safe school plan, the state requires it every 3 years, maybe. And so we're updating ours. Pete he gets an extra planning period, and he is my risk management coordinator. And so he's working on that plan and has done so much work. And that's why the badges, that's why palms, that's the phones, you know, all of it. And it's been really positive. I think the school's safer for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any others that you want to add? In that case, we can move on to old business.
Well, facilities is meeting for the first time this academic year on December 5th. That was the first available meeting date that suited everybody's schedule. And I think we could probably go with maybe 4 Thursdays after that. But yeah, so we're kicking off. That's it. And I'm not the chair. I'm just the GC.
Well, Thursdays could interfere with
Yeah.
certain activities. Thank you.
I already have a meeting on the 3rd.
I got to go back and read my email. The first
So-
one is the 5th. Just leave it.
All right. Yep, we'll leave it at that.
December 5th.
Probably go just because I would have gone. I'll be fresh from this over.
You'd be valuable there if you can spare the time.
Yeah, no, I'll go
Yeah.
just.
How
send me
many-
an invite.
How many
Sorry.
GC members are on the committee?
I think I'm the only one.
Okay, so one can go without you having to post anything. if you hear that anybody besides Alex M is going,
You got.
Hannah needs to post that there's a quorum of the GC likely to.
What does post mean? Does that mean beyond the online
I can
calendar?
just put it on the website.
Okay,
You just gotta let her know.
okay. You're on
I
the
didn't
list.
hear that whole thing because I was looking at calendar. So you're thinking of coming to the facility meetings? It's silver?
Oh, no,
he
I'm
is
talking
part of
about the-
this one, you know, I offered to go since I'll be fresh from the silver one.
Oh,
So they just want to make sure we don't have a quorum since I'll be going.
and who's the other GC?
They don't know.
See, he thinks there's only him.
Okay.
And I think that's true.
Stevens, Jelinek. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
We're
But
good.
please
I just
send me an
wanted to alert
invite.
you.
Yeah,
Send me an invite so I remember. 'cause I
Okay.
won't Forget.
okay. Yeah, I'll just type it here.
All right. Well, you're up next, so we'll wait till you're ready. First item under old business is the director's evaluation
Yeah.
update, and you requested some extra time.
Okay. This is a little bit tedious. We met in Alex and I met in July with Amy. We used another, we ripped off another, really useful, director's eval, executive director's eval. It's been ready to go. We added additional questions beyond the staff eval. There are two sections that are specifically governing council questions. I have it ready to go. I took it myself. There's plenty of room to write comments. I wrote many comments. It's possible you don't rate something and they're just the three categories: exemplary, satisfactory, and needs improvement. The problem is it exists on my computer and I don't know how to share it. So I sent a copy. I shared a copy with Alex and said, see if this goes to you, take it, and then I'll let the rest of the GC members.
What did you make it?
It's a Google form.
Okay, I
And
can
I-
show you how to share.
I'm not sure, I thought I knew how to do it. I've done it before in my
Right.
own job, but I probably need 5 minutes of instruction and oversight, and we can send that out because I want you to have some,
Sounds good.
Feedback.
I want you to have some feedback. So, and I apologize. It's been
No, Jim,
a
that's
wrestling
that's
match.
a lot of work, yes.
Great, Cheryl
Exactly.
said. Because she saw my face and she's like, you're doing a good job. I know it's taking a toll. So there's my feedback.
So
I know.
once this is sorted,
that
I will
person?
send this to the members of the GC, not to him, obviously.
Hopefully it will never be sorted.
Sorted.
Oh. I'm sorry. Okay, thanks, Jim. Thank you for all that work.
Sure.
That's awesome. Next item is that we have on the action agenda for tonight, approval of Lauren Diorio as a new governing council member. It's here under old business in case there are any last minute questions or discussion items. Or cold feet. No, that is not actually,
That's not all.
Not allowed.
an option.
you're good? I have no need to discuss it. Just wanted to make sure it was on here.
I'm good.
All right, excellent.
I'm ready.
Under new business, we have a few items. And the first of them is Mr. Wayne Sherwood with Public Charter Schools of New Mexico wants to talk about training the governing council, and hopefully you all saw that I requested you come with any ideas you might have about what training you want as a governing council member. And that can include you, Lauren, although I don't suppose I included you in my notice to come that way. Come prepared. Sorry about that.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, real quick, I think I can get Lauren's, all of her hours, just like I did Jim's last year.
Nice.
Jim was able to fulfill all of his hours. Remember we went through that, Jim? Yep. It was that PowerPoint I sent you, and you did a great job of reading through that and doing all that. So I appreciate all that hard work you did in answering all those questions. So, Lauren, I'm Wayne Sherwood. I'm not sure if we've met in person before. I look forward to meeting you. But some of the topics that I have that we could be going through, not sure what you guys are interested in. Of course, a lot of you are very familiar with Open Meetings Act. you know, so I don't know that we need to spend a lot of time on that, but Lauren, we'll go through that as part of the new governing council training already. We're going to do that anyway.
So wait, hold on. I don't know if Lauren knows the, the requirements for new members.
Okay, so the requirements for you this year, I believe it's still 10 hours is what you will be required to do by June 30th is the cutoff. But since, and the reason I'm here is the public charter schools of New Mexico, we are contracting with Aldo Leopold, and what we do, or what I'm doing is for PCS&M, and that's the acronym I use is PCS&M, Public Charter Schools of New Mexico, is training the governing council members so they don't have to go to any other workshops throughout the year in the state and get training hours, or there are training hours that are online that they can also take. And you can take them at two different places. You can take them directly through the public education department, which are free and really boring. And I hope Missy's not listening. Sorry, Missy. Or you can take them through Public Charter Schools of New Mexico, and there is a fee for those online courses, but I can do that since for free since Aldo has already paid PCS&M to do this. Plus, we have a very valuable workshop coming up in December that I want to talk about real quick. That there's 3 days of training. One is just specifically for governing council members, and I will be one of the trainers up there also. And I think it's very valuable to go up there and do this. It's a little expensive. Aldo is already going to be up there on Wednesday or Thursday. It's Thursday.
I'm coming up Wednesday.
Yeah, and the renewal though is Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be great to have as many of you guys come up as possible, because I do think it's beneficial. When I was a director, I really enjoyed just going to those workshops. One is you get to talk to other governing council members throughout the state and see what you have in common with them, see the struggles that you have, see how your meetings are being handled and run. Since I go to several, some of the meetings I go to are 45 minutes and some of them are 3 hours. So it really varies on the types of meetings and as long as they're meeting Open Meetings Act, they're all fine. So
Hey, Wayne, yeah, what are the dates of that and where is it?
it is at Tamaya, and the dates are December, and I'm going to give you the first date is December 11th through the 13th. I know, and that goes right through the renewal. So I'm going to be up there for the renewal also for Aldo, because I think it's at 8 o'clock, and then I can get back to the workshop there at Tamaya. And the Tamaya is beautiful. If you've never been there and stayed there.
No, it's north of Albuquerque.
In Bernalillo.
Okay.
It is beautiful. It's really nice.
Yeah.
The grounds are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And how much?
Has anybody thought about the governing council members that other than Lauren, have you guys thought about any kind of training specifically you would like to focus on other than finance? I already heard the word finance, and I know that that's something that, we're going to get repeat findings on. And the PEC, the Public Education Commission, I'm sorry, I'll try not to use acronyms, but the Public Education Commission, that is Aldo Leopold's authorizer. There's only 2 authorizers in the state. You can go through a district. So like Silver Consolidated Schools used to be the authorizer for Aldo Leopold. And now they are called a state authorized charter school, and they go through the Public Education Commission. So they are going to want to see that you've made changes and you're doing things because obviously these findings are something that's in the past. They're not going to even see your new audit findings at all. They're not going to know that. You already know that. So just saying to them, this is what we are doing to fix our problems that we already had. Not saying this is what we are planning on doing. Never use the word planning. Always say the word we are doing. This is the process we're taking right now to remedy these these issues. So they hate the word planning. They want to, that drives them crazy. They don't want a lot of data up there. They already get all your data and everything. They want to know what your school is doing. They love the kids coming up. I like your idea of the So Tall Cactus. I think that's great, Hannah, and being able to send something from Orient. And Hannah and I have already talked about some other people that may be going up there. I think that's awesome. Today, I came at the end of a renewal. There was like, I don't know, 50, 60 people from this school that was there. It was crazy. But they don't live in Silver City. They were in Albuquerque. They were from Albuquerque. So it's a little easier. So,
Yeah.
Hey, Wayne, I only came with two things, and
okay.
you've mentioned them both. How we conduct our meetings, whether essentially you think there are improvements we could make. I personally don't think a 45-minute meeting is a good goal.
Right.
But I also think a 3-hour meeting is bad. So,
Agreed.
I want to be somewhere in between.
Second.
And my second thing, again, was finances. But I think the most important aspect of it, you might not be thinking of, which is long-term planning.
Yeah.
So some training on governing council, keeping its eye on the 3-year horizon or something like that.
I too would love more financial training. And the other thing that I thought of was sort of like what I used to do with my government class, giving an overview of how the US government works. I'd like to know how the state educational bureaucracy works. I have all, I hear all of these acronyms and abbreviations, and I have a vague notion because I can associate Matt Paul with this one, but I really don't know how that all fits together. And maybe I don't want to, Harry, but I think it would be useful especially when we're looking at, moving into a new building, right? So that would be useful.
That'd be great. I can easily put that together. And just to answer your question on the timing, one of the in this one PowerPoint training that I could go through with you guys, it's the first 30 minutes, how well are students doing? Well, you guys are already doing that. The second 30 minutes is how is everything occurring appropriately? Budget, are you being lawful? How's the school handling itself as far as the charter? And then the last 30 minutes is how is the board performing and developing? So actually you guys are following that pretty close. As long as it stays at an hour and a half meeting, you're doing really well. But I'll send that to you, or you know what, next time when we do, I'm looking at my watch here, Harry. 1 hour. We got 9 minutes. So
We started 5 minutes late.
That's true.
So we have
14. All right. That's all I have. I'll let you guys know you still got an agenda left. So any other questions for me? I would love to see you guys in December up there at the Tamaya. And I'll probably see a couple of you at the renewal also. The renewal here.
Yeah. Where are you staying? It looks nice.
Yeah, it's called La Posada of Santa Fe.
Oh,
Never stayed here before. I got a fireplace. Look, I got a fire back here.
Yep.
Oh gosh, it looks so
Posada,
cozy.
sweet.
And the Vigas are it's really pretty.
It's like $100 less than all the other hotels. I don't understand Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Some weeks, some hotels are really expensive. Next week or month, I mean, not week. I'm not here every week.
All right, thanks, Wayne.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, guys.
Put a bicycle in your room at La Posada. So
Nice.
Good day.
All right, next item in new business is the cybersecurity/student information system policy.
It is super awesome.
There are some
And it
staples there.
is just one of those policies we were missing and now we have it. And so,
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Cheney actually helped us write it. So,
We have.
well, nobody could find it
There's-
if we did.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
That's okay. It was, that's all right. But I'm glad Ryan's got
We
a better
have
one than
one
I
now.
have.
No, we couldn't find it anywhere. What
Yeah.
was it in?
Several of us searched.
I thought it was in Safe School.
There's a different thing in Safe School. It's not this.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not.
Thank you.
This is the security of our student information system.
Of powers.
Oh, this isn't like students being exploited on.
Right.
No,
That's, I'm sorry.
That's right.
This
That's
is
what I read, okay.
SIS means Student Information System. Our SIS is Power School. How do we ensure that that is a secure system so
Yeah.
that personal identifiable data isn't
Yeah.
accessible?
Yeah, your thing is there. So we'll be voting on this. Does anybody have any questions? Hopefully for Hannah, not me. Zip through it.
I move that we accept the.
We
security
can't yet.
No, that'll happen during action items,
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
which we could
I'm ready.
change.
No,
That's
watching
something
that
we
clock.
could change differently, do differently, but
Oh, can we?
that's how we do it now.
Let me try.
Yeah, right. I want to know if this is the best way to do it. All right, the next item I was just searching for, new travel and per diem policy, and this is part of why I think I was surprised to hear Jackie wasn't here. She sent a proposal, but did she send?
She
get
didn't
it.
send a
I
proposal.
didn't get it.
She
Darn it.
hasn't shared it with the GC. She
Darn
sent it to me and I shared it with you. One of our audit findings was inconsistency in reimbursement for travel. And so, and that was true. Melissa would change her mind. She'd be like, no, let's just do it per diem. So having a written, clear policy, sticking with it, Jackie, was making a pre-trip form. And then the form lists the policy and all the reimbursements on it. And you have to have the form filled out first. And I had shared that with Harry.
We did that like the first time, like 3 years ago. We had
Yeah.
a form, how many miles are you gonna
Yeah,
do? how many meals
Exactly.
you
And
gonna
so,
eat?
and we will
And
do
this is
that.
really-
again.
Last year,
Yeah.
didn't get anything.
I know. That was the
And then
problem.
1 year, Wayne would just show up and just with the credit card pay for everybody.
So now we have a consistent, process is what Jackie wants to implement.
So I'll take the blame for not realizing the status of it.
Okay,
I think we should table this.
okay.
Uh,
You want me to have her share it with everyone?
No, I think what I was supposed to do was comment on it.
Yeah.
And then it was gonna be shared, and that's why I'm apologizing. I dropped the ball.
Okay.
I forgot that I was supposed to comment on it. We could, I think it might be useful, discuss a couple of points. And now it's just the three of us. Lauren, you'd be welcome to contribute your thoughts, but there are two issues that I know there's a difference of opinion on. One of them is the amount to pay for mileage. So the state, the Department of Finance Administration, every year sends all agencies, not just educational, the current New Mexico mileage reimbursement amount, which is based on the previous year's IRS mileage amount. And in some years has been 80% of that, but is now back to 100% of it. We cannot pay more than that, but we can pay less. And the current amount is, in my mind, insanely high. It's 60 some cents a mile,
64.
65 and a half
Oh,
cents per mile.
That's a lot.
And that strikes me as too much.
Yeah.
That we don't need to pay that much, that when an employee drives on school business for that rate, they're making money on their trip. So that's one item, and you all can consider what you think. The second is how we should, either what the default is or what the only system is for reimbursing lodging and food expenses. When I was business manager, I wanted to encourage our staff to travel frugally. So I went by the perfectly legal per diem. If you were approved for travel that was more than 2 hours away and required an overnight stay, you could get what the state said was the per diem maximum for that location. And it's different in Santa Fe than the rest of the state. I think the rates now are 135 in Santa Fe and 115 everywhere else. but they may have gone up. I'm a couple of years out of date. Anyway, when people said, yes, that's what I want, they have every incentive to find a cheap hotel and pocket the money. And so, yes, they're pocketing the money, but in the end, it saves the school money because the alternative is they find a hotel that might not be $100 less like the Posada was, but that is considerably more. And then they get their actual expenses reimbursed, including then they have to submit receipts for food and lodging. If you do it the other way, there's no dealing with receipts. You just don't have to worry about that piece of it. So that part was actually popular with staff, not having to deal with receipts. So that is the per diem option versus the actual expense option. We are legally allowed to do either. One of them has to be a default. And we could actually exclude one of them if we wanted to do one only. We are allowed to do that.
There was a year where we were given X amount, like food, $30 a day.
Bingo.
And you bring your receipts and you were repaid for what was on the receipts. If it was over $30, you got $30. If it was $18, you got $18.
Mm.
That's how Melissa did it a couple of years ago.
So that's the kind of policy we get to decide.
Do a maximum, but we're gonna reimburse you for the
GC
receipt.
decision, or is it a business manager
Yeah,
slash
the GC is supposed to annually approve
annually?
a travel and per
Oh.
diem policy.
And I wonder the last time we did, or you
I
guys
think it was
did.
2021, 2019. I found it. 2019.
So no wonder it kept switching around.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And well, because another piece of the travel thing, Jackie had said default, they should take a school vehicle. And Harry and I were talking about this, the Suburbans are expensive to run. And that isn't the most frugal choice. And like, for me, they're big and bulky and I'd like something smaller to park in a city, all of those things.
But if you
and-
got
and-
like, it's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
If you have
But
other
if you're going by
people,
yourself,
it's
Yeah.
kind of
insane.
talking travel by
Yeah.
yourself.
We want you on your Moto Guzzi.
And I totally see Harry's point that the Suburbans aren't the most economical choice there.
Right. I forgot that one. Thank you.
Yeah. So are you going to propose policies then next time for you guys to look at?
Yeah, maybe what makes sense is I send out Jackie's as she sent it, and I send out Jackie's amended by me
Right.
with
right.
what I would like. Would that make sense? Okay,
Sounds good. And I can talk, and Jackie can come next time, so she can
Great.
speak to all of it too, and what's easier for her, because she's gonna be the one dealing with it, what her preference is and why, I think is an important. piece.
I was gonna come in tomorrow to talk about the conference,
Oh, good, yeah.
because I actually prefer the Santa Ana
To
nearby.
Tommy,
Way cheaper.
wait,
And at the time, yeah, they put you in the room that's 2 miles
Oh,
away
it's
from the
so far.
check-in desk.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
part of
You
your
gotta walk a
exercise.
mile to the car.
Well, and,
Santa Ana's.
Yeah.
Watch, and plus you got a casino.
So that
and
is
their
a good
grounds
item
are
coming
beautiful,
out.
but you can go walk their grounds
That's coming out.
anytime.
Yeah, it's item E.
But that's charter renewal. We're talking about the.
It's the
conference.
travel. Travel to it. GC
For the
travel
renewal.
plans.
Or-
Yeah, but it's gonna be the
Okay,
same trip,
okay.
is it not?
Well, no, because that's on the 12th. I'm leaving on the 10th to be there 9 AM for
Right.
the 11th.
Right, but you're not coming back
Right.
before the renewal. So it's the same.
No, well, that's overlaps, yes.
All right, so anything else on that travel and per diem policy?
What's that?
I was asking if there's anything else on item C.
So this will be a new business and an action item in December's meeting.
Yeah.
We can't really decide this before
No.
our renewal.
No, so we gotta go for the per diem
Okay.
policy.
It won't even be an action item
Until
until January.
Okay.
Right.
So I see charter renewal process. I think I've gone over that.
Oh, good.
Don't you think?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so.
I can describe what it looks
I
like.
can't remember what we talked about.
So Lauren, charters have to renew, we have to go in front of our authorizing body, which is the Public Education Commission, every 5 years. And so our renewal hearing is December 12th. And it was at 8 AM. You do not have to be there. If you want to be, you can be. The setup is that first the charter school division, who just visited the school a few weeks ago, will give their report and their recommendation. And I've already seen their report, and I know their recommendation is to renew us with the caveat of we need to give a quarterly financial report to the PEC because we've had financial whatever inconsistencies, and it's primarily because of turnover, I would say. Then we get 2 minutes per person for anyone, any stakeholder who wants to speak about how great the school is and why they support it. People go too long on this and they repeat the same thing, and I'm vetting all of it, and we're not going to have more than 4 or 5. I'm going to have at least 2 alumni, one of whom runs an all-female chainsaw crew. She's so badass. It's Molly Pendleton. I've just seen her pictures of it. It's so great. And then Bella Bjornstad, who just passed the bar and is working for the Immigration Law Center. Then I just got a wonderful letter from an alum who has a student here now talking about the impact of the school, both on himself and on his child. That is great. He can read that via Zoom. And then Sherwood, I guess I'll let you talk.
Who's the alum? Can you tell us?
Yeah, David Timmons.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Mimi's part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good letter. It like made me cry this morning. So good.
You needed that.
Yeah, exactly. Cry for joy once a day. And then we then we have a half an hour for our presentation. Our presentation will be looking at, my framework for it is craft, which is the agave bracelets. Student council will be presenting. They can talk about how all of these elements are braided together. Then curiosity, we'll talk about academics, our spotlight designation, but growth. And that's the only data we're going to share, is showing that although our math scores put us in the 25th percentile, we have real growth that you can see over time, and really pretty impressive growth in math. From 6th to 12th grade that Fiona will talk about. So craft, curiosity, community. I'll talk about our demographics and the fact that the school is 44% Hispanic. That is identical to Silver City, which is 45%.
And that was our number one.
That was our number. And I'm not going to say this, we were ever dinged. I'm just going to say, here's who we are. Here's who our kids are. We are 45% Latino. We are 40% special education. We are, and just talk about our demographics. Here's the kids we serve. Here's the poverty of the county and the city. And those, I have good maps of all of that. And then here's what we do, right? So anyway, I have it all laid out. That's the presentation. Then there are challenges. You see, it's my alliterative C's. The challenges will be finances, governing board, and SPED. And then we address those. And then conclusion is a video that Escher's making that my leadership team and I will be previewing next week. And then we'll see what all that encompasses and what else I might need to piece in. And then there's time for the PEC to ask us anything and everything they want to ask. What are your thoughts on that, Wayne?
The PEC can ask a lot of questions and it can take forever. So just be patient. They can. Yes, today's went over. The meeting was supposed to start at 1 this afternoon because they only had 2 hearings this morning. Yeah. And it started at 2:30. So just to give you an idea.
My framework, do you think that works?
Stay away from data as much as you can. I get the growth. Growth is great, but just keep it short. They can see the growth. Just keep away from data. They don't. And Patty came to me again today. She goes, "Hey, how's Hannah doing?" I talked to her. We talked about staying away from data and just letting the kids talk, showing what the school does. They want to see things, like bringing in a backpack.
Stories, pictures, all of it. And impact, not what we do, right? Not, hey, we go backpacking, but how did that affect you? How did this change?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. You got it.
Cool.
Hannah, the governing council part, as I recall, what the concern is that we did not timely report changes in membership, changes in officers, and changes to bylaws.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
So just showing that what adult actions, first own it And then what adult actions are we taking have we taken that have made this better?
I will try to stay away from the childish actions.
This is C language, right? Charter school division. I'm like, how would you approach this? Well, first own it and then talk about your adult actions. Like, okay.
Wow. Someone's got a new kid. Right, thank you.
Is there any kind of role that we governing council members really are going to have at this? Or are we mostly there?
Oh, thank you. That's a piece I left out. So we're gonna practice the entire presentation the week after break via Zoom. And at that point, we can figure out like, oh, hey, will you do this piece? Will you do this piece? I would like to be much more MC than like, talking the whole time. I just want to turn it over to kids, to community members, to governing council, to speak to whatever pieces. And I think as a former teacher, there might be, a piece there like community or something where you would just be the natural person to talk about that. And I think that in that, in our practice, in our
Okay.
dress rehearsal.
I didn't ask because I need to say something, but I'm also very willing to do whatever is necessary.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I'm a teacher.
So, but GC who will be there are Harry, Jim.
Good, we're on
Alex.
item E right now.
What?
Now we are doing item E.
Yeah,
I
okay,
see.
and Alex Tager, right?
I don't know.
And are you do you want to come? We don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay, we can talk about it later. So, I'm gonna say, and we don't know if is
I don't
Sebastian?
know, but I was hoping he would be here.
Yeah,
That was what I wanted to do with this, was find out
okay,
who's going.
Yeah, okay.
And you're going to the training.
I'm going to the training. for sure.
I'm a maybe on the training. Are you thinking of going to the training?
I need to know more about that training.
Did you
Thanks,
never
but-
get anything from Wayne? Did you get? Does PCS&M not share that stuff with GC? Was I supposed to share it with them? I didn't ever know
Yeah.
that.
They share it with you every Friday, and then you can
I
just
know.
share it with the GC. It does
So-
not go out to governing council members. You know how
I'll
our
forward-
meetings run.
Okay.
They're run without any outside influence, so that, but whatever you want to share with them, you can share with them.
Okay, I didn't know that they didn't get that, so PCS&M should make that clear, like, hey, you guys are responsible for sharing this with your GC. I will forward it to them.
What?
Like that email that I sent you, like, here's the registration link, here's the information about the
Put stuff on the
conference.
website.
Yeah,
Up until now, although always enroll us, like we didn't have that, like we were just enrolled, whoever said they were going.
Melissa enrolled.
He did all
She's
that,
not-
yeah. So I don't- yeah.
So I didn't volunteer to coordinate that piece. I don't know if it needs coordination, but I guess it does, right?
It
We need to know who wants to go so that there can be purchase order issued.
Right.
Are you able to make a reservation just on your own and then have it taken over by the school? Because I know you were concerned about,
Last year I missed out
Availability.
and I ended up at Santa Ana, which actually I'm gonna request maybe Santa Ana because it's cheaper and it's actually easier to deal with than Tamaya. Tamaya, because they put you, literally, it's about a half-mile walk to your room.
It's a
I know.
huge complex.
it's many conferences.
Yeah, and the parking is another half-mile out in the snow on the other direction.
So Harry, are you coordinating all this now? Or are you gonna reach
Sure.
out to?
I'll do that too. The training also. You're gonna take care of your own transportation.
Yeah, I'll either fly or drive. But from there, I would like to commute to the Santa Fe,
If you fly, are you renting?
for sure.
Okay.
But, yeah, I have to get to those houses first.
So.
I don't know. I haven't
When I was
decided.
business manager, that was totally allowed, but. If it came out more expensive than your own
I
mileage would
totally
have
get it.
been,
Yeah, no, I
that
get
was
it.
capped.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
I understand that. I'm not
Excellent.
expecting to go and have everything.
No, I'm just telling you. I don't know if that's what Jackie's doing,
I'll probably drive.
but I'll work with her on it. Okay, you'll probably drive.
I'll probably drive.
I think I mentioned to you, I was happy to,
You might,
drive a vehicle, either a Suburban or commuting on. I can take 4 other people.
Well, and then coordinating the staff piece, Fiona's going herself, I'm going in my vehicle.
Hmm.
because we're going at different times, but for the students and staff, I think I am just gonna go with student council. So Serena and Matt are the student council sponsors, and that just works out nicely. And then I'm gonna talk with student council. Lucy will definitely go, probably Key, maybe Devin, and then one or two others. So Serena and Matt can drive all the kids in one Suburban, and then we'll have that taken care of, just so you know, the school.
My kid was gonna go, but because I'm gonna go with her mom, she's gonna stay behind probably.
Oh,
Go
okay.
watch the dogs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, to party, you mean?
And yeah, do drugs, make math, yeah, the usual.
Usual teenage thing.
Do you want to go? Are Matt and Serena allowed, I don't even know if you want this, allowed to drive governing council members?
Sure.
I mean, you
wanna
expressed
go in a
interest in
Suburban with a
joining,
bunch of
well, I'm
kids
only saying it because
for
Bill
old
put that in
time's
his
sake?
email. Said I would want to go in a Suburban. But you don't need to. I mean, we could go together, you could go by yourself.
I guess my ultimate statement is I'm easy. I'll do whatever and I'm
Okay.
happy to drive. That was all.
Okay.
I don't need to be with students.
For old time's sake. In the back of the Suburban.
That used to drive me crazy because I heard too much and they played rap music. I go, no, bitch, no, rap music. It was just kind of, sorry, that was recorded.
It was,
Again, your fans are disappointed.
Yeah.
we got yelled at for that so bad.
That's hilarious. Okay, and so the sooner you know, the better. As
The
far as
more I
I'm
know,
concerned.
the sooner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah,
I will,
whatever information you send via email will allow.
okay, figure it out.
Roman number 14, governing council input. Is there any? Jim, Alex? I have none myself this month. Okay. We're at the speedy part of the agenda, action items. Item A, appoint new GC member Lauren Diorio.
I'll make a motion to appoint new GC member Lauren Diorio.
Second.
Any discussion? Any last minute comments?
We did discuss this last meeting, just point of information. We talked about it last time.
Got it all out.
That's right.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Yay, welcome. I'm glad you joined.
Thanks for stepping up.
Yeah, thank you.
As a result of large amount of kerfuffle and small content change, namely one word added to the nepotism policy, we need to reapprove the nepotism policy in the governing council bylaws. We added initially to hiring a new employee, as I recall, hiring and I can't remember the second verb, but we made it so there's no doubt whatsoever that the point of time in question is when a person is initially hired, not when their contract is renewed.
It was a small but material change. It was useful.
Yep.
Yeah, that's because Carrie has a son who teaches here, which is why we had to change it.
That's technically not, right. You know what? I'm not gonna go into it.
It was
I thought that was it.
discussion.
I'm not gonna go into it,
Okay,
but we're satisfied.
Good.
And Alex Tager was part of that. She was satisfied. So I would entertain a motion.
move
Thank you.
to update to nepotism
Yeah,
policy in GC bylaws. Is it the nepotism policy?
Yeah, there's an
Okay.
update to it, so, right, we're updating
The nepotism policy.
Sure, if you want.
Okay, and I second.
thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Is Lauren allowed to vote now? She
No,
hasn't seen the
oh.
policy.
I don't know.
Used to be, she had to complete training, but
Yeah,
not anymore.
Yeah,
I
you could
forgot.
totally vote
She's
now
good
that
till
you've been
June.
appointed.
I think that's
I
true.
bet you could. What do you think, Wayne? Can Lauren vote now that she's been appointed?
At today's meeting, I mean, yes, she can still vote. As soon as she's been approved by the governing council, she can vote. I don't
You can
agree
use
with
this
that.
after.
Such an
But
honor.
She needs,
Would you like to vote on that or would you like to abstain?
What's that?
she needs onboarding. as
Abstain.
well, right?
Oh, yeah, she does. She needs training.
I haven't read that policy.
It's good.
It's relevant to your family. Well, it's not because the conflict of interest policy is what's relevant to your family.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, we have a resolution to change signatories at First American Bank
From whom to whom?
from Alex Tager and you to me and him,
Okay,
since you have a new,
Make a
Chair.
motion to change signatories of First American Bank. From Tager to Brown.
perfect.
Alex, you're emotional. I second.
You get the next one.
Any questions, Lauren? So our policy, and I don't know if you knew this, so many things slipped through the cracks. When I was looking for mileage per diem, I ran across a bunch of other things, but one of them was, we do have a 2-signature policy that says anything over 5,000, it needs both.
We followed that.
Awesome. I did not know. We were still following it. Okay. Otherwise,
Actually, we started doing it over
Signing
500.
checks. What, Wade?
We started doing it over 500. When Melissa took over, she wanted it anything over 500 to
That's
signature.
crazy.
is there a governing council policy corresponding to that?
No, it was just something she wanted to do. And I'm like, all right.
Okay, she doesn't have the authority to do
We
that.
do it over 5,000.
She
That's
was
why Alex was
exceeding
signing
her
checks,
authority. Yeah.
when she said.
Okay. I have a motion already, yes? Is it
Second.
a second? All those in favor say aye.
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 You can say abstain, you can say aye. This one's totally obvious. Okay, all right. You're abstaining from everything. I just won't stop looking at you then.
Okay.
I would entertain a motion for both bar 12 and 13 at the same time.
I move that we
Approve?
approve bars 12 and 13 simultaneous.
Seconded.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Check, check. Item F is to set a December meeting date.
This is nice.
We've included it.
So,
I
okay.
agree, it is weird. It doesn't
It's not
matter,
an
let's move on. December 12 is the currently scheduled, of course, we're in Santa Fe. Anybody have an alternate proposal? Did we
The
propose already the
17th.
17th? Thank you. We already proposed the 17th. Does that? Anybody have any problems with December 17th?
No, that's.
That's a risk management and a curriculum committee meeting, both of those.
Risk management. and-
They may not be meeting since it's the day before break.
You know, curriculum change. Well,
Yeah,
curriculum's a
curriculum is not then, Wayne.
Right.
Curriculum is the last
just don't think it's been
Tuesday of
updated
the
on-
month.
calendar.
Somewhere, it's on my calendar, so that's
Yeah.
what I have.
Ignore it. It's not correct. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but there's,
And even so, the meeting's at 4:30 and we would just leave the meeting and come to this meeting at 5:30 if it was.
So there is a 50% chance that I would not be here by 5:30.
should we make it 6?
Wait, what day are we looking
The
at?
17th of December.
That's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Oh,
I-
it's a
I have-
Tuesday.
Risk
Maybe it's the
management, that's-
19th. We do the 19th. I see. That's why.
No,
No. Oh, everyone says no.
Why is everybody saying no? The 19th is great for me.
because that's search and
Not
rescue.
good for me.
Both are in.
I can't.
Search and rescue.
Yeah. And it's also, isn't that, what's your last day of final exams?
The 20th. I mean, the
Okay.
18th is the last day of finals. The 20th is makeup.
I
Well,
can't do the 19th, I won't be here.
we have a
19th is off
Okay.
the table.
We have
Three.
a vice president who can run the meeting until we
Yep,
arrive.
yep.
So let's go to the 17th.
warning
That's
you.
all right with everybody else.
Yep.
That work for you, Vice President, Vice
I'll
Chair?
be at risk management, so I'll go from there to here, I guess.
Okay. And as I noted, there's a 50% chance that I won't even be going to Las Cruces, so. Then we're settled on, it's not an action item because we don't have to vote. We're settled on December 17 at 5:30,
5:30.
and Alex, you're aware you might be chairing the meeting. All right. Any other business to take care of tonight? Hearing none. This meeting is adjourned.
Thanks,
Bye,
Wayne.
guys. Yeah,
Just-
bye-bye.